Bienvenidos al canal oficial de la Escuela de Arquitectura y Urbanismo de la UNPU. Aquí exploramos entrevistas con expertos y proyectos innovadores de nuestros estudiantes y docentes. Suscríbete.
En la entrevista al arquitecto Adrian Macgregor, exploraremos cómo el biourbanismo puede aplicarse a ciudades como Santo Domingo, su impacto en comunidades vulnerables y la relación entre la naturaleza y el urbanismo en el mundo actual. También hablaremos sobre su visión para el futuro de las ciudades y la planificación urbana, así también como su trabajo en el laboratorio de biourbanismo y la visión futura de Santo Domingo bajo los principios más sostenibles. Hola amigos, hoy estamos supremamente ilusionados porque tenemos un invitado de lujo que hemos visto durante estos días, durante el Congreso Internacional de Arquitectura y Urbanismo, y nos ha ilusionado mucho ver sus proyectos y escuchar la dinámica de cómo trabaja. Y vamos a contarles un poco de esto en esta entrevista. Tenemos a Adrian Macgregor, quien es paisajista, quien vino desde Australia para estar con nosotros y que tiene un libro sumamente interesante sobre biourbanismo. Además, es profesor adjunto en la Universidad de Canberra en Australia. Así que vamos a tener una conversación amena con él y vamos a ver un poquito y a que nos cuentes un poco acerca de cómo entiendes que el biourbanismo que has planteado en todos estos días puede ser ayudar a trabajar en los sectores de pobreza que hemos visto en Santo Domingo.
So I think that the city of Santo Domingo is clearly growing very, very quickly. It's fast developing, and as the population grows, then it's creating challenges for the city. So biourbanism is a way to think about planning intelligently for increasing population whilst maintaining nature and maintaining a good living environment and quality of life in your cities.
¿Cómo entiendes que el biourbanismo puede ayudar a los barrios que tienen una mejor planificación dentro de la ciudad de Santo Domingo, como aquí en esta zona del polígono?
So the cities here share the same challenges that many cities around the world have. And there are two challenges. One is growth outside the city and new urban development, new urbanization. So managing that urbanization in a way that is beneficial to the city and to people. So maintaining and conserving nature and trying to build public transport, make walkable places, and not relying on the car as the city expands outside, its current footprint. But then the other challenge is, what do you do with the existing urban environment? So when you already have streets and buildings and infrastructure that's constructed. So that's a case of retrofit. We retrofit buildings. You go in and you change the life of a building by adding, new design ideas. And it's the same with public space. So you can go into your streets, you can go into your public spaces and renovate them and make them more responsive to the environment, make them handle, flooding and water issues, make them cooler, resilient to heat, make them more beautiful for people in the city. So, yeah, it's a dual challenge of managing growth, but also of coming in and repairing and renovating existing parts of the city to make them better. And there are many examples around the world of cities that are doing this really well and, intervening to create a better quality of life in the city.
Nice. Una cosa que nos interesa mucho es saber de dónde surge esta idea, cómo empiezas a trabajar este tema del laboratorio de biourbanismo en tu oficina o si fue desde la academia, desde tus años de estudiante, ¿cómo surge esta idea de trabajar estos temas?
So after finishing my book, Biourbanism, which actually took me about 15 years to write,
Wow.
It was a very long journey. And in fact, I tell people that I finished the book in COVID. So when we were all in our small room and, we were behind our computer, that was a space that I had to actually get it finished, because I was just in a room and I could concentrate without traveling, distraction, meetings. So that was when I finished it. But when I completed the book, we wanted to make it practical and to try and put the ideas into action. So therefore we created the Biourbanism Lab. And the lab is really, it's a digital solutions consultant or provider. So it builds, it listens to the client's challenges, and then it builds a set of solutions for them to address their particular challenges. And the lab is born from academia. So we have a number of PhDs, ex-PhD or lecturers and academics. So the lab is using science, geospatial science, data sets, and really trying to build, use modern information, AI, machine learning, to create the science behind design. And that's really why we built it, and that's what the lab's focused on, is bringing research into practice.
Muy interesante, muy interesante.
Sí, fíjate, las ciudades siempre son un organismo vivo, cambiante, constantemente. Nos gustaría entender cómo ves la relación de las naturalezas con las ciudades. Tenemos algunas ciudades que han hecho su mejor esfuerzo, como la ciudad de Chandigarh, y algunas nuevas propuestas que tenemos en el norte de Europa o en China. ¿Cómo entiendes que se sostiene esa relación entre la ciudad y la naturaleza?
The biourbanism model actually is a bit provocative. It actually defines the city as nature. So I don't make a distinction between the urban environment and what we build and nature. The central foundation for the model is that the city itself is nature. So it's a shift. It's a shift in thinking, and therefore it's a shift in how you design. And the reason that I made this proposal is because, we are a mammal, human beings, Homo sapiens. We are a species, and we're building cities, and we do it in a similar way to many other animals. However, and we call the cities that other species build to live in or inhabit, we call that nature. But when we do the same as a species, somehow it's not nature. So I think this is it's flawed thinking. And by understanding the city and the processes of the city in the same way that we understand ecosystems, which is through the lens of systems, then we can better understand how cities function and therefore plan.
¿Cómo definirías la práctica de tu empresa, de Macgregor Coxall, cómo se ha desarrollado en los años y cómo la definirías tú como empresa?
The development of our work is really design founded on environmental science. So the way that we approach our projects is to really analyze, forecast and simulate existing scenarios, but also future scenarios. So if we're looking at climate change and the impact on cities, then it's very important to look forwards and not backwards, because we know that our world is changing rapidly. As temperature increases, the design parameters that our cities are being exposed to are changing. So we take the view that we need to have a forward-looking view, and that means trying to simulate, bring in the information that science has built for us. There's an incredible amount of information that has been delivered by science in recent times. So it's about ingesting that information and then creating forecasts to make sure that we're designing for tomorrow and not yesterday. That's really fundamental to our approach. But then, of course, we love design. We love to ideate. We love to, brainstorm and to try and work out use that information to work out creative outcomes. So design process is really important to us, and the sort of ongoing creation of options, and then working with collaborating with many people is really important. So design is joyous, it's a fantastic activity,
Of course.
and we love that.
It's passionate.
Yeah.
Como habías explicado, estamos en el antropoceno y como sabemos, hace unos miles de años largos nos hemos posicionado encima del resto de la naturaleza y entendiendo que el mundo nos pertenece, no somos parte de él. Entonces, ¿qué implica tu visión de un mundo mejor?
Well, I think that we need to understand that we are a species, and that we need to, for our own survival, we need to look after or make sure that we're not impacting on other species. And unfortunately, we're not very smart when it comes to our impact on other species, because without those other species, we won't survive. So the biodiversity that is in the world now is being rapidly diminished because of primarily our cities and the services and functions that we use to keep those cities alive. So it's very important to understand that we are part of nature ourselves and part of ecosystems. And if people understood that and acted in that way, then I think that it would change their attitude about how we occupy the world. And if we consume everything, if we consume all other species, then we will, we're impacting our own survival. It's come to that point. And David Attenborough is an incredible advocate for having spent his life in ecosystems and nature and filming and documenting these incredible creatures. He's very passionate about us acting in a more intelligent way to try and protect and conserve those remaining species. So it's really important that governments at national level act to create environmental controls to ensure that new cities don't negatively impact on our environmental, our really, really crucial and environmental habitats. We can't afford to lose more of our biodiversity. So national governments need to be strong, and they need to act. They need to protect environments for future citizens as well as existing citizens.
Muy bien.
Y continuando por esa misma vía, ¿entiendes que en los próximos años ciudades como la nuestra podrán verse de una manera distinta, quizá de una manera más verde? ¿O cómo entiendes que podemos trapolar todos esos conceptos de la biodiversidad y todo esto en la ciudad, en ciudades densas como las nuestras, en ciudades mal planificadas como muchas de Latinoamérica? ¿Cómo entiendes que eso se verá en un futuro? ¿Y cuál es tu proyección hacia eso?
Absolutely. I think we have to be positive. We have to take the view that we can change our cities. We can design them better. And we can, use our engineering, our architecture, our planning, landscape architecture, all these professions. We can use them to change cities in a positive way. So you have to be positive. You've got to be optimistic. There are certainly challenges, but and I think what's really important for change is leadership. So we need strong leadership. We need presidents, of nations, prime ministers, government, high-ranking government people to have vision and to change, their cities and their nations in a positive way. Because as designers, we need the framework. We need the government framework to be able to move things forward. So the vision needs to come from leadership, and the understanding at government level that cities are really important to citizens and the economy of countries. Cities drive most of the economy and the business in a nation. They do. So, I think that's something that a lot of governments don't understand. If you have healthy, productive cities, you have a stronger economy. You know, they go together. So I think leadership and vision is really important, and we need that from our leaders. It's crucial.
Esperamos que muchos tomadores de decisión escuchen esta intervención.
Estamos emocionados y muy agradecidos de que hayas sacado tiempo de tu agenda para venir a la República Dominicana y a este evento en específico de la universidad que sienta un precedente a nivel nacional. ¿Volverías? Tenemos las puertas abiertas aquí. ¿Volverías a la Universidad Nacional Pedro Enrique Sureña, a República Dominicana?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I mean, I've had a wonderful time here in Dominican Republic, and I think there's an amazing opportunity for this country to be a leader in Latin America. You've got great universities here. You've got a lot of talent. So if you can harness that, then I think that, Dominican Republic could be a good pilot for many, changes that need to happen right through, this region. And so I think you could be a pioneer. And I think in terms of new development, even the brand of the nation, I think it can be projected out to the rest of Latin America and even the rest of the kind of other nations, that you have this incredible biodiversity, incredible nature, and you have very vibrant cities. So if you can work with this to create, repair some of the damage that has been done to systems and improve the cities to match the beauty of the natural environment, then there's a tremendous opportunity for the country to be a great leader in this region.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, Adrian Macgregor, por dedicarnos este tiempo, por venir a este congreso, por abrirnos sus puertas y sobre todo por enseñarnos tanto sobre paisajismo, biourbanismo y muchos otros temas sumamente interesantes. Hemos hablado hasta de economía aquí, así que muchísimas gracias y estaremos en la próxima. Gracias.